I've been a resident of Boise, Idaho for over 800 years. I just don't get why this always happens to me every single time.
Oh, come on, guys. You get it. You get it, right?
Hello, and welcome to the Rag Company Podcast, where I'm your host, Dane Hennon. To my right is an empty chair because Levi Gates is somewhere in this building, and yet he has not set foot in this room. Very strange. I literally saw him 10 minutes ago. He's been here all morning, and somehow he forgot to show up for the podcast. Anyway, to my left, I've got Anthony Fisher right here.
Thanks for having me, Dane.
Wonderful
Glad that
Anthony
I could
Fisher.
I could
on
be
time,
here.
Anthony Fisher.
On time. And I had a dental appointment this morning.
Yeah, you had a lot more working against you.
I prioritized this podcast before my dental appointment.
And you're in pain right now.
I am in pain right now, but that's the price of the podcast.
I mean,
so welcome.
That's dedication.
To the main show podcast where we talk a little bit about detailing, but mostly about our weekends. This week is going to be an exciting week, I guess, jumping into some housekeeping here.
Yes.
First and foremost, we are filming our Halloween special this week.
We don't want to spoil
I'm not going to say. I'm actually not going to say anything about it other than it is special, and I think that you guys are going to absolutely love it. And hopefully this is a cool thing. Like this style that we're going into can. Hopefully, people are receptive to it, so we can kind of keep things like this going.
There's a video with a tie-in to the swag that'll come with. There's multiple things going on here.
There's a lot of things.
So we hope you support it so that we can do more stuff like this in the future.
Yeah.
One other thing tied to that. Part of the reason I'm being snarky about Levi here is because we are on a very tight timetable today. Since we're filming, we have to cut off firm at 11 o'clock today. So wherever we are at in the podcast, we got to cut off at exactly the 1 hour mark from having started 2 minutes ago and 14 seconds. So just so we're clear about that, that's why we started on time. Even if he wasn't in the chair, we got to get it done.
Yeah. So other than that, though, this week we do have some guests coming into town, which is going to be really fun. So we're having a couple different people from the industry come by. And, honestly, just kind of go over product ideas for the future. That's one kind of fun thing that we get to do here at the Rag Company quite often is, work with our other brand partners on helping kind of develop new products. And so, we had a person here just yesterday. We'll have another person here this week, and we're going to kind of brainstorm and see what we can create. It sounds like a Mr. Levi Gates has shown up to the party.
Goodness. We're on a tight timetable, my friend.
I ran into the bathroom.
And what happened? Did you make it out?
Did you fall in?
Did you?
Okay.
Time we're going, waiting on Anthony still.
We're starting.
Showed up.
They made it very clear. There's no waiting for anybody.
Nobody told me that. I just got in it.
No, that's what we talked about.
That's why I ran
week.
to the bathroom.
It's okay, man.
It's a savage situation.
We're all here now, though.
Quick and easy.
We're good.
Other housekeeping things here are that today, I believe all of the Ultra Clay products will be back in stock by this afternoon.
Golly gee, I sure hope so.
I know.
If
pretty
they
crazy.
haven't learned their lesson by now, those of you watching who are getting this information sooner than other people, take advantage. If you've ever even thought about getting any of the synthetic clay products, the Ultra Clay products, those are the ones you want. They move so fast.
They do.
Move so fast. That's why it's a big deal we're actually mentioning they're back, because who knows how long they're going to stick around.
Yeah.
They just keep flying off the shelves.
So that includes the Ultra Clay Scrubber, which I know many people have been asking about.
That's like number one right there.
Because, Pan the Organizer had released a video a couple weeks ago going over our entire Ultra Clay line, and which was great, awesome. But we didn't have enough stock for that video at all. We were already trickling down to the very last of it.
I gotta get these comments on the screen while you're talking.
Then he made the video. And then we were like, we're pretty much sold out. So today, hopefully by this afternoon, things will be back in stock. And a fun thing for our Grand Ambassadors, too, they'll also be getting sent out their Ultra Clay products as well.
Be nice.
Many of them probably already have most of the line, but we like to send these out for content, right? And so they can create some stuff. So speaking of which, our Grand Ambassadors are killing it still. I mean, this last week was an amazing week for all of our Grand Ambassadors because they received all of their care packages, which is super cool. And they did unboxing videos on Instagram. They shared a lot of the different products that they picked up, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of videos on that. But yeah, I mean, check out Jamie the Cleaner, check out Darren, check out Heather, check out Vermil, check out Matt, check out the Bearded Hunter, check out Darren. Did I say Darren already? I think I said all 6 people, right?
You are,
and I definitely.
This is the 3rd time.
I definitely mentioned
this
Jamie.
This is happening.
I said Jamie first.
Oh, you got Jamie in there. You
did.
Slipped it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he is hanging out in the comments saying hi to
Jamie's
people.
waiting. He's over there with a
Man,
baseball
I'm
bat.
pretty
Just
sure-
watching.
I know, with nails in it.
Yeah, he's just looking
crazy.
at you.
It could get ugly.
So if anybody's listening to this and you haven't been supporting our Grand Ambassador Showdown finalists, please go and check them out on Instagram. Go follow them because they're putting out really good content and they're showing you different ways to use our products as well as giving you all sorts of tips and tricks. And so, yeah, just wanted to say shout out to them.
Good job on them. And then a great job, Lucas and Aaron in customer service.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Absolutely killing it lately.
I've got
so much
comments
so,
here from people.
Folks are commenting in the comments about how great they are.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
I feel like this is another Aaron bomb.
No, what's crazy is somebody actually messaged me on Instagram and said, hey, shout out to Aaron for saving my cat from a burning building, right? And I
Right.
go,
Wait a
what?
second.
When did he do
When
that?
did he do that, right? And then like
You're supposed to be at work.
He's just out on a walk. No,
Yeah.
it's an evening walk.
Right.
And then
After
and then
work
another
thing.
woman and a husband said, "Hey, thank you so much to Aaron for helping with our at-home childbirth." And I said, "What is he
He's
doing
a
in
midwife
his
now.
spare time?"
It's the beauty of
He
customer
is-
service. He's helping our customers.
He's going
in
above and
all
beyond.
things.
Chris Cross here. I just want to take this time to shout out Aaron and customer service. They're a real G. Followed by Dino, who says that Aaron went above and beyond. I just want to thank Aaron from customer service for being so cool. He took my package on a plane to Austria, gave it to me, and gave me a hug, and came back to the U.S. to continue with
He
his
loves
work.
hugs.
Yeah.
Not only was he caring and just really looking out for Dino here, he also understood the diligence of coming back.
What
to
I
work
also
when it
like
was
is
done.
he asks
above and beyond.
for
Literally,
a hug.
in a
Like
plane.
he'll ask you. It's
Yeah.
okay if I. It's okay if I
Do
give
you
you a hug.
mind if I give you a hug? And you're a great
Yeah.
hugger, Leo. You love hugs as
I
well.
do. Mhm.
Yeah.
You do feed off those, and those do replenish your energy.
They do.
As well as
It's what keeps me so youthful.
you will no.
and
You're
exuberant.
able to steal their not soul, but it's like just suck the life out of them with every hug. Hence why you always look so good after SEMA. Anyway, so jumping into this, I guess starting with our weekends, Mr. Levi Gates, what did you do? Keep in mind, we have to keep these shorter than
Tight,
usual.
tight.
Nice and tight.
Had a car in the garage for the week
'Kay.
that I worked on.
What is it?
It's a Land Cruiser, Toyota Land Cruiser.
Ooh, not great vehicles.
Now, 100 series.
Yeah, I'm not interested in those. I mean,
And
take
or
a
120
100
series or
series.
something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is called anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call them.
I don't
What
know.
year is it?
It's a 13.
It's a 30
Oh,
series,
okay.
40
I think that's
series,
a 200 series.
It might be a
uh,
200 series. I don't know.
1700
I honestly
series.
don't know.
Yeah, whatever
after
they
the
call
100
those.
series, what they call
Anyway,
those
I've been
versions.
coating this car since it was brand new.
Wow.
It's probably worn about 4 different coatings on
Yeah.
it. Coated it this week.
Okay.
And then I'm doing a little leather repair as
Yeah.
well on it. And then just cleaning it up. Basically, their daughter had been driving it through high school. And now that she's off to college, they want to keep the car in the family because it's a good running rig. And so they wanted to get it cleaned up. Get all the kid stuff out of it, all the high school kid French fries and stuff.
yeah.
And so got worked on that, and then Saturday morning, Carly got Augie and I tickets to the Boise State Broncos game.
Ooh, go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
Broncos.
And
Boys in blue.
yeah, and it's been hard because they've lost their first 2 games.
Sounds about right. I mean, it's
So
it's,
this was the
it's-
first home game.
It's not.
It's not 2007 anymore.
It's not 2007 anymore. We lived the glory day.
Yeah.
Like I think it was literally a day, and I think we're still riding.
oh no,
on
we
that.
rode on that for about a decade.
We rode on that
Fiesta
high.
Bowl.
We're
was-
like who remembers the Fiesta?
That was
that's
a
like-
great night.
Yeah, great conversation. We're like Statue of Liberty play. It was
My wife and I
amazing.
were in our apartment.
Yeah.
And we were watching the game, and literally, We paused it because we had TiVo back then. We're pretty,
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Young-
Look at you
young-
ahead of the curve.
late 20-year-olds, 27, going, ooh, let's pause that. Let me grab a snack. And then all of a sudden, the entire complex erupts.
Yeah.
And you're like,
You could just hear the noise of people screaming from their apartments and stuff. We're like, what happened? What the heck was that?
Yeah.
And then playing it and great.
It was also a great night for illegal fireworks as
That
well.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, took Augie. It was first time. Never been to a Broncos game. So he was excited to go. I'm a big proponent in believing that you bring your children to things once they're old enough to appreciate it.
Right, but not before.
Right. Not before. When they're too young, they don't care. They don't know what they're doing. They're just there. So
They're also
take
not
'em-
gonna remember
Plus,
it,
they're gonna,
most
like Lucy at Art in the Park, right?
Yeah.
She's getting a little stressed out. She wanted to do things. She wanted to do. You weren't having a fun time. What if you were at the Broncos game and she was doing that? You couldn't enjoy the football game. You can enjoy the sports things that were going on the field.
Correct. I would be doing like the side like fun things. You know what I mean? I'd be like, not watching the game.
Right. Exactly.
Like I would be going and like playing like a tossing game.
right. You want to
or,
go
like-
out into the parking lot and do
Apparently you're
stuff.
tossing passports.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly what I'd do.
So I was watching people. So I took Og. He was so excited. So we stopped at Jackson's, the place where I pick up my drinks every morning.
Wow, look at that.
And we got to, they're selling sports cards,
Okay.
trading cards of the BSU football players.
Uh-huh.
And so Augie grabbed a pack. He goes, I want to get a pack because I want to take it in case I get to meet any football players and I'm going to get their autographs.
I'm
And I
gonna get a
said,
rare foil one.
oh, okay, cool. So we buy them. Did not realize they cost $14 a pack. Quite expensive.
For what?
That's
was
For
that?
a pack of trading cards for Boise State. Courtesy
That's
of
ridiculous.
courtesy of
That-
our friends at
that's,
Jackson's.
That's ridiculous.
Quite-
right?
That's way
quite
too
the
high.
markup.
So I go grab like 2 sodas, a soda for Carly and a soda for Augie, and I get those, and the guy's like $18. I'm like, the heck?
Oof.
Yeah.
And so
I'm a
anyway,
Jackson's Rewards member. I don't pay.
I made sure I
don't
put
pay
in my
$10 on
Jackson's
anything.
rewards because this was a watershed moment for me in terms
Yeah.
of points. So we went to the game, walked in, we're walking through the parking lot. I'm telling him this is what tailgating is. This is what people do. They bring their trailers, they build these vehicles with TVs and barbecues and all
Mad
kinds of
Max
Purpose-built to
situation,
feed
right?
and
a lot of old
entertain.
vans and ambulances,
Yes.
right? And old RVs that have been painted orange and blue.
This is what. How this is. Sorry.
Wait, what
Sorry,
are
I'm
you
about to say
about
something
to say?
absolutely horrible. This is people's identity. I
This
mean,
is
like,
what people
this
base their
is-
entire identity
So
off
this
of
is what people yeah,
Right.
they go to their 9 to 5
and
and
then they eat, sleep, and breathe
Boise
what
State.
these college students do every weekend. It determines their value as a human.
Well, and then they start
Tailgater
talking
is
about
a personality
certain
type.
students. They go, "Yeah, I saw so and so. They went to a house party last week, and on their Instagram, they're probably going to be a little tired for
Yep.
Monday's game."
Yeah.
I'm thinking about trying to see if I can contact them to give them like an energy fizz drink or something like that to keep them
boy.
going. And we're like, "Please, you don't need to do that. These are just normal people living their life."
Right.
And they go,
Yeah.
"Well,
Yeah.
I got a lot of money riding on
It-
this
so-
on this college kid."
So we're walking through, and I'm just showing Og, and then we walk into the stadium. He's got his cards. We're carrying, courtesy of our friends at G Technic, our kneeling pads, so we
Yeah.
could sit on those on the bleachers. So we'd have a nice soft cushion to sit on, right? So we're carrying those. He's got his cards. We walk into the stadium, head over to our seats. Great seats. Wife did a great job. She goes, where do you want to be? I said, oh, right here sounds fine. She's like, are you sure? I said, I think this is going to be great. 3/4 view of the entire stadium.
Oh, that's a
Beautiful.
good view.
Nice view of the city skyline. And as a resident of Idaho,
Nice.
Boise, for nigh on
Yeah.
over a century,
Yeah, it's
beautiful time to be able to sit there, look out upon the pastures and fields that were once there, and reminisce.
Well, it was really
They're
funny
not there
too.
anymore.
Your dad, right, used to do donuts there.
My dad used to do donuts in that
when
field.
it was a dirt field on the outside.
Yep, he had
right?
cops chasing him at one point in his
Yeah.
Cadillac.
Yeah,
I believe it.
him and his buddy Crow,
His buddy Crow,
who had had a couple drinks, maybe.
Yeah, Crow was a little
potentially.
drunk.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were doing. They were just out partying. He had Ransom and I think Rhino.
Yeah.
His other buddies in the back.
these are real names.
Franco's got a good question.
These are real names.
Yeah.
Crow, Rhino, and Ransom.
Yeah,
real people.
My dad.
doing a little booze cruise at the Boise State.
They had straw hats on and cigars. My dad said, as he pronounced it that way.
Yeah.
And doing burnouts and donuts in his '62 Cadillac Coupe de Ville with a couple stolen mini bikes in the trunk.
Yeah,
And a fifth of whiskey in the jockey box.
I guess the statute of limitations ran out.
Cops don't pull you. The cop pulled him over. My dad said, "Can't do nothing to me. This is private property, and I'm a Gates."
Yeah.
And the officer said, "Dang it, you're right, but I'm going to get you."
It's because your last name.
Yeah.
You are Gates.
Horses at it again.
You've been here for over a century as well, so it's just so tough.
Can't do nothing.
Damn it.
But no, so it was just fun sitting there watching the game. They actually won, so that was a great time too. Augie and I didn't stay that long. We stayed till halftime, and I couldn't sit any longer. Like I can't do that. But the game was great. We walked back out, called Carly. She picked us up, went home, finished working on stuff. Augie had a friend party that he was going to go do all day, so he had to get out and do that. Spent the weekend literally just at home, chilling out. Replaced the running boards on the Suburban. Finished.
Those were getting a little tired.
Getting a little tired for sure. Put some new ones on. Passenger side, I'm not all that happy with.
Fitment isn't right?
No, they're a little flimsy still. They're not fully mounted, but there was no way to mount them into that side because I found out those are fuel lines.
Yeah, be careful around that.
Don't want to damage those.
Yeah. And also, don't spark.
But yeah, so it was just it was a little harder to get that right. But all in all, great, nice. Probably the last warm weekend.
Yeah.
Next Saturday, I'm going to be in Utah at Budco, doing a presentation at Budco with a number of different brands as well. They're hosting an open garage. They're going to have prizes, giveaways, all kinds of stuff. So
cool.
If you're in the area and you're listening, please come down to Budco Saturday morning, the 23rd, and come say hi.
Yeah.
Nice.
But that was my weekend. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Carly and I just chilled out and watched some TV, watched some movies, and just enjoyed the weekend.
A little downtime.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not
That's
so
fun.
bad.
Dane, what'd you do?
I mean, I kept it pretty simple myself. Went on a little trip up north. Joined my folks up at their little cabin in Tamarack there, which was, as you know, the history of the ski resort's kind of a weird one, but kind of an interesting one.
A lot of drug money up there.
I don't know exactly what happened into that whole thing.
They laundered a lot
basically,
of drug money.
they tried to initially create a ski resort that would compete with the best in the world, and then at some point the money dried up.
Well,
and
it was
became
all during that weird, tumultuous time. There was that and the Boise Hole.
It's the early mid-2000s when they were doing all this initially.
Those were... The problem was there was a guy wanted to build a building downtown.
Yeah.
Lost his butt in it. Lost the money, but at the same time, I think he was friends with the developers of this great idea up at Tamarack, so he went to go up there to do it. They lost all their money again.
Yeah.
And then it sat for years, and then 2007, 2008, money got re-injected. Construction started going again some more. There was cabins up there, I remember, because Tom Smith, Buff Bright, bought a cabin up there for nothing.
We used to rent those cabins up there as like a fun place to go in the wintertime just for a visit. It's like, we can't buy anything up there, but we could still rent and have a nice time. And it was great memories. I loved that.
Yeah.
But this
it was
place
starting to
went
get
through
built
a
again.
few situations, and they built a little more, but then it also went dead for another 10 years plus.
It's one of those things. Google Tamarack Resort
Timeline or something,
timeline, and just read it. It is seriously insane.
Yeah.
How much, and there was even companies from overseas coming to try and put money into it.
Who started it all was a French guy, Jean-Pierre.
It just went crazy. It's wild.
No, the whole thing was interesting. So if you're curious about that kind of stuff and useless
beautiful
trivia
place.
knowledge, that's the thing. The actual location, gorgeous, beautiful, and it's on this amazing lake. It's great. I mean, the views are awesome. Anyway, visited up there,
Yeah.
had a good time, joined my folks, brought the dog up with me. Callie came up with me. We had a nice time
Nice. You
there.
guys took
hung
the
out
Flex
with,
then? Or
yeah,
the Jag?
took the Flex. Yeah, because I'm not putting Callie
Well,
in
I
the
You never
mean,
know.
you can put Callie that she can ride in the passenger seat. Liz can scrunch up in the hatchback.
Could.
Yeah.
She could, but it
She'd
was
bring
a Flex
pillow.
trip. But
She could
yeah.
take a nap.
So anyway, she has a little more space to roam
Yeah.
in the back this way. But no, it was nice. And once again, the exhaust did not drone, so I was happy with that. Although I
Not
do
as
miss the...
exciting,
I
though.
know, you think it's
Yeah,
boring.
you admit you lost the turbo whistle on it.
Yeah.
That's why I want to take out that central
So what if we just
resonator
buy you a
and
turbo
see.
whistle to put on the
Yeah,
exhaust
no,
pipe?
that's what I would
Just
do
get
because
Bubba up to go
I say,
back.
hey,
Woo,
sorry you
woo.
lost the cool sound that this car had. Here's a somewhat of a replacement.
We could just get some anyway and not tell him.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Put 'em
I
on the
don't know
Jag,
about
too.
that. It's like, wait, this car's supercharged. Why does it sound like it has a turbo? Anyway, made it up there. Lovely time. And what's happened in recent years to kind of paint the picture a little bit, because it had such a tumultuous financial
Yeah.
situation. In recent years, like in the last, I want to say it's been like 3, 4, 5 years of
Yeah.
the... I normally don't like homeowners associations, but
But they've kind of
this
taken
one
it under their wing
was
to
kind
really.
of a joint effort where people just got together and said, you know what, screw dealing with these like large companies saying they're going to do something and then they all fall through. Let's just band together
Yeah.
and actually see if we can
Well, you
save
think about,
this thing.
especially when you think about.
Because they already own the
They own the
up there.
properties.
So they're like, you know what, this is essentially our place. So
Yeah.
let's try and get it to
Yeah.
where it was supposed to be.
Right.
So they essentially like self-funded a whole chairlift, expansion, all these different things. They like added them and they started to attract businesses. And next thing you know, that huge like Alpine village that they had been building, that, to be fair, very accurate feeling. Like if you've
Beautiful
ever
little
been
place.
to Switzerland or Germany or anywhere near the Alps and stuff, any kind of Bavarian kind of feeling mountain lodge type area, you've seen a place like this. So they tried to model it after that and make it very accurate, but it sat unfinished with tide
For a
blowing in
decade.
the wind
For a decade.
for 10 years plus,
Yeah.
even longer.
Yeah,
And
Tyvek
it just
paper.
sat like
Yeah.
that
Disintegrating.
forever. And then finally they're like, you know what, let's just get some people up here to finish this stuff. And now it's beautiful. They've assembled it. There's still a lot of stuff under construction that they're kind of doing each year. They're piecemealing
Yeah.
new parts on, like little ski trails that can go in and out of the village. It's very cool. If you've never seen anything like that, it's very cool for us to have up here. So anyway, I say all that because my actual story is just us hanging out in the cabin, going for some hikes, having a good time. But I think the history of this place is
Yeah.
actually pretty interesting.
So Dane, do you see yourself buying a property up there someday? Oh. Or would you go the other route and perhaps buy just some land, put some hookups in, and then rent a trailer?
See, that could be
To-
nice because
to
then there's minimal
bring it
upkeep.
up.
But yeah, I mean, are you thinking combining
Or perhaps
forces, my
maybe,
property and your trailer?
Perhaps.
By our forces combined,
Yeah.
we are landlords.
So Dane's just like, hey, Levi, so the trailer's been up here for a long time. Do you think you're ever going to take it back home? Nah, Dane, it's there. It's my rental property up there, right? That's how I get, a good amount of traffic.
I'll pay you $50 a month. And
And Dane's like, yeah, but the audience that your trailer's attracting versus my house is a little bit different, right? So these guys are a little rough, and you're like, Dane, they're totally fine.
no, I only rent a high end.
These guys
high
asked
rollers.
if I had like a basement that could convert into a gun cellar. I don't know if this is really what I'm trying
Dane's
to
like, Levi, there's a
build here.
lot of weird smelling chemical smoke coming from the inside of the trailer. I think it's a Breaking
They
Bad
installed their own
situation.
deadbolts that I can't open. This is getting a little weird. Yeah,
But no,
so
would you ever? Do you like that area, or do you
I-
like another
I think
area?
it's
'Cause,
beautiful
like,
up there. But
your parents, I'm sure, because they always went up
Yeah.
there with you, and when you guys were younger, that's kind of probably was always a dream of theirs
No,
to be in
I
that,
love it up
because
there.
they've said, we always love that area, the McCall
Yes.
Cascade area. So that's all. I'm just wondering because,
Yeah.
I actually really like the area around Idaho City.
yeah,
Like that's an area that I really
yeah, you
enjoy.
guys go up there all the time.
And so I have a lot of fun, and I could see myself buying land
sure,
in that area.
I'm not in a place to do
So-
it today, but
Well,
hey,
I'm not either.
down the road,
but
I mean,
I'm
that's
just saying, is that like a
definitely-
future goal or something that you think of, or would you buy land somewhere else, or what have you?
For me, it's always been about trying to combine. Yeah, like I love the idea of living near an alpine lake, but mountains. You get the views. At least 180 degrees of views is nice. Any more than that, awesome. But I gotta have trees around. For me, it was always being able to grow up in a place that was like surrounded by trees, like you're living in the forest. That was key to me, but being close to the water was also it. For me, living up in Washington, up in Sequim, Washington, where we were, while it was essentially a sleepy retirement town and there weren't a lot of kids around, the location made a real impression on me. It was living up next to the Strait of Juan de Fuca. We were right there between Washington and Canada. It was just like a couple-hour ferry ride across the water to get to Victoria, Canada. So it was fun to be able to visit. But I loved living in our house just kind of tucked away in the forest, but close to the shore.
Yeah.
You could almost hear the ocean, not quite, because it was just far enough away you couldn't quite hear it. But a bike ride down there, easy. You'd be down there and you could hang out at the ocean. But it's cold over there. It's not the kind of ocean people are like, oh, yeah, we're here in the Gulf of Mexico. No, it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
It's more like Maine, if anything. But no, I really like that. I love the feel, the atmosphere, and just the general vibes of it. So for me, it's water, it's alpine, it's mountains.
There's multiple people here at the Rad Company that have cabins. Did you know that?
The rock in the cabin lifestyle?
Yes. Well, there's multiple people here. So, like Josh, right?
Oh, yeah. I knew that Josh had a cabin.
I think Thomas also had a
Thomas
place.
has land.
Or
Thomas
land,
and Tim have land.
Both of them have
that
land.
they want to build upon.
Oh, they're going to be building upon. Yeah. And I think there's somebody else that I know as well. I can't remember who it is, but pretty cool. I was going to say, we could start doing a TRC adventure, right? We start going to people's cabins and raid them.
Raid them?
Us three. We sleep in them. We raid them. We use the amenities, and we see who has the nicest
cabin raid.
And then we use the trailer, of course, right?
Yeah, we'll take the trailer with us.
We'll
just
park
in
the
case.
trailer in Idaho City,
out.
right? And that will be one of our stops.
I like
right?
that.
Oh, okay.
I like that as well.
I mean, I like that idea as, going for a drive in the Loma Loop or something like that would be a lot of fun. Just being able to cruise through there and stop at your place on the way kind of thing. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
But no, like, other than that, going up there, it was also the fact that my cousins, my older cousin there, he has a couple of kids. His wife is also named Corey, which is funny because my brother's named Corey, so you have to specify which Corey you're trying to talk to.
Male Corey or female Corey? Is that what you have to say?
I mean, that sounds weird when you say it that way. You usually just try and look their direction and say it and make sure you're not confused.
Named after greatness is what that is.
So there you
Your
go.
brother.
But basically, they have turned it into...
I don't think she was named after Corey.
Yeah,
we
that's
don't
not how
know.
that-
We don't know that.
Time doesn't
Timeline
work like
doesn't-
that. She's
a lot older than him.
So
Oh well, then
It doesn't work.
I guess.
Anyway,
he was named after greatness. Then
the thing I was going to point out, it's interesting you brought up, like, oh, would you move up there? Would
Yeah.
you live up there? Well, that's what these guys are doing. So
Oh.
basically, they have lived a very interesting life.
Yeah, they've lived all over the world.
Because he works a job that essentially requires him to go to, like, live in places like Prague for years in some cases. And then he's working for, like, a large industrial company. So they, like, make tractors and heavy equipment and stuff like that. So he's, working on that sort of stuff. But now he's able to come back because he can do a lot of remote work. He's like, we've always, heard about this place up there. We wanted to go check it out. And they just basically decided to buy a place sight unseen up in Tamarack and then just live there. And they're like, we'll figure it out when we get there. Like, they had plans, but a lot of it was kind of winging it. So
well, the kids are young enough, thankfully, that it's all right.
they're not to double digits yet.
Yeah,
so.
it's going to get a little harder if they want to enter schools or...
So here's the thing.
They're
They
gonna
basically
homeschool 'em
said
or
we're
what?
going to treat it as a 1-year test, pilot kind of thing. And if it goes well, maybe they stick around a little longer. If it seems like there's just not enough other kids for them to make friends with or play with or all this other stuff and it just gets kind of dull, then we'll look at going into Eagle or Boise or something.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
kind of where they're at.
Nice.
But yeah,
Okay.
they're looking at those as possibilities. Anyway, the kids are great fun. They're hilarious. And balls of energy. Good Lord, are they.
It's Dane is...
So much energy.
It makes Dane want children.
I'm feeling pretty
soon as he
good where
can.
I'm at.
Dane, breathe some youth into you, and also suck the youth out of you at the
Yeah.
same time.
So
That's where the gray hair comes from. I don't know if you knew that. That's how it
well,
happens.
I felt like I was hanging out with Augie for a little bit with how much some of the kids were running around with like knives and things. I was like, oh boy, this is exciting. Let's put that away.
I would have shown him techniques and things
I'm
in
sure.
which you
I'm
can
sure
fight.
he would.
He's
But
got a butterfly knife. He's like spinning it. How do you get so good at that?
it's like, why are you so good at that? No. So his thing was trying to create a whirlpool. They had basically like 2-liter bottles. They were going to connect the caps. They pierce holes in the caps, which is why the knives and the screwdrivers and stuff were out. You connect them. You tape it around. It was a big deal for him to get the tape.
Yeah.
And then eventually add some food coloring to the water, and then that way you get water passing between them like an hourglass, but it creates a whirlpool if you give it a little swirl, just a little start. And he was just fascinated. He wanted to know all about tornadoes and dust devils and whirlpool. He's fascinated by things.
Did you pull out? Is that when you pulled up Max and pulled up Twister and showed him? Sit down, children. Let's watch.
I told his parents that they'd need to show him the movie Twister at some point, so he can really appreciate that. I figure he'll like it, but
I'm still trying to get my children. Carly and I threaten every night. Let's watch Twister, and they're like, "Oh no, it's too scary." We're like, "It's not scary," and they're like, "It looks scary from the video, from the cover."
I mean, there's a lot of jokes in it that'll also go over the kids' heads.
It's all right.
But anyway, there's that. But no, it was fun, and it was a change of pace for me. So I was kind of liking that. But we went on a hike up, went up the chairlift, hiked around, going to different ski lifts, as you could. But it was definitely a beautiful time out there. And then I saw some fires develop that fortunately don't look like they went too far.
Did you start them?
No, I was
Did the
watching
children
it from a
start them?
distance over by McCall. I could see
So
smoke
just
rising on the horizon. I was
watching
like,
a couple fires happen.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot we could do. So in the thumbnail today, you can kind of see in the background of that picture. Also, you may notice my cousin doesn't like to wear shirts a lot, so there's also that.
It's always fun.
Yeah. But anyway, that was basically my weekend.
Nice.
Good time.
But it sounded nice
Wholesome
being family
fun.
up there in the mountains. How long were you guys up there? For the day, or did you stay the
No,
night?
I stayed overnight and
nice.
stayed there until Sunday evening. So I didn't drive
sweet.
back until it was getting dark on Sunday.
What did your mom make for breakfast?
In the morning, it was actually my cousin. He is a very good chef. He does his own kind of thing. Normally, he's making, he does like homemade guac and different stuff like that. In this case, he was making bruschetta. So
For biscotti?
No, we had bruschetta, however you want to say it. Basically,
For breakfast?
Yes, toast with fresh tomatoes and olive oil and some goat cheese and stuff like that.
Oh, no wonder he's so
not
skinny.
your thing. But basically, like
That's my thing.
very-
I'll eat it. I just didn't
very
know you had it
Euro
for
kind of
breakfast.
So yeah, that's what we had for breakfast, and it was delicious. It was
Yeah.
great. Not normally my first choice for breakfast, but at the same time, when in Rome, we're there, we're doing it.
You're
great.
in Tamarack.
Okay, so
You're in
tried it out,
Tamarack,
and
I don't
I
know.
was very happy.
I'm not in Rome. But that
You know
sounds
what I mean.
nice. Yeah. No, that
Phrase
sounds
stands.
nice.
But yeah,
Fun.
so it was lovely. I had to watch out for some deer on the way back home because, as you know, when it starts the sun going down, it's twilight.
But you got to get them deer whistles
That's when
and
the
put them on the
critters come
hood.
out. Yep.
Stick those deer
So-
whistles on the hood of the Flex.
No, Dane. Well,
We'll
no. What
do
you need is really you need a tarp and you need a good gutting knife, and
That
then you can take home that
and
meat,
a bash
right?
guard. and
I
get 'em
don't
a
know
brush
if
guard
Callie
for the
wants to
front of the-
share the room back there.
She might. She might help clean up the mess.
Dane.
I'm
yeah.
kind of worried about
Lots
that.
of dogs
Her
like
white
delicious.
coat would. Okay.
Lots of
Anyways,
dogs like smashed deers.
Anthony, how about your weekend? I'm giving you a full half hour. I
I
didn't even
know
take
if I'll,
up that much
I don't even know if
time.
I'll take it. So my weekend started on Friday night. I was looking for something to do, right?
Yeah.
I was feeling a little creative. I need to go and film a video, right? For just my own personal use, right?
okay.
Home videos is what I like
Yeah.
to call these.
Okay.
Not distributed or published anywhere other than within my own home for my
For you to watch
my
later.
viewing pleasure,
You
right?
make your wife watch them.
And so I was looking for a vehicle to go and steal and drive for the night, and Gabe actually offered up his
was very
Honda
nice of him.
Civic, right?
Yeah,
his
it's nice
low
of him.
mileage,
I'm surprised he
34,000
didn't
mile
sit
Honda
in the
Civic.
car with you.
I know, it was kind of strange too.
He usually would want to be
So
part of that.
he said, "Hey, do you want to take my car out for tonight? Maybe go grab some moving pictures." And I said, "That sounds like a good time,
Yeah.
right?" So I got home after work, got my stuff ready, grabbed some camera gear, headed back over to his house. First time ever being at his house, and I will say I was very impressed with the garage. Very nice.
He's been working very hard on it.
Since his last garage tour, I think people will be very impressed with the overall changes that he has made, right? Some flooring,
Like
some
the entire thing is
cabinets.
physically different.
Yeah, I mean, the entire thing is
It's a
physically
different home,
it's a different
garage.
It's a different
different
home.
garage.
I think
Huge.
people will be happy with the changes that he's made, and so but yeah, I went over there, picked up the car, and went and took it down to a little local park there, and it was just so funny because I'm kind of getting ready to start taking some moving pictures, right?
Yeah.
And I see this like Subaru out of the corner of my eye, right? It's a WRX, like obviously very noticeable to me in that World Rally Blue, or close enough
Classic.
color to it. And I see it kind of cruising down the parking lot, and it parks like, I don't know, 100, I'd probably say a football field away from me, maybe 300 feet away from me,
Do
right?
they have binoculars?
And they're sitting there and they're parked, but I can see they're facing my direction. So I'm kind of just standing out there with my camera looking at them like,
Just
Right.
waiting
What-
for the vape cloud to exit
like
the
what
window.
What's going on, right?
Yeah.
And then they move forward a little bit, right?
They're creeping in on your turf.
And then they stop again. And I go,
Was it one of those things where you are like you're filming the car and you look over your shoulder and the car's 100 feet away?
yeah, and I
You
turn
turn
back,
back and, oh,
and
it's
it's a
closer.
little bit closer.
Yeah, and it's closer. It's like 50 feet away.
It's
or
the cat or the
whatever,
dog
50
in the
yards.
video sneaking up
And
around
you're
the
like,
corner.
You look again and it stops, but it's like only like 55 yards away.
I don't know.
But you're
It's
like,
strange,
but
right?
then it backs up, right? But
Here's
then it
the
goes
real question.
again.
Then it's on the other side of me.
Right, yeah,
Did
exactly.
they think that you couldn't see them?
I don't know. So I'm standing there.
It's a big
and they
wide
start
open
creeping
space.
forward a little bit more, and so I kind of like go, dude, I don't know what's going on, but like I'm losing sunlight here. I gotta take these photos, right?
Yeah.
So I start getting down, talking about the angles and things like that, and then I hear it start up and it starts moving towards me again, and I'm kind of like, okay, they're gonna talk to me. They have to be talking to me. I don't know, like why? Because I'm the only car in this entire parking lot, empty. Literal empty parking lot.
not coming up to talk to
There's
anybody
nobody
else.
else at this park, and they pull up, right? And I go, oh crap, right? So they pull up, but like there was no like window rolled down yet, and so they
Oh,
pulled
that's
up and parked
weirder.
next to me, and I'm kind of like, all right.
What's about to
roll down
happen
the window?
here?
What's going on, right? So they roll down the window, and it's these two kids in there, right? And I go, hey. Kid just looks over at the Honda Civic and goes, she's pretty. And I go, thanks,
not
it's
mine."
not mine. Yeah. and he goes, yeah.
But I had a hand in building it.
So he just nods and he goes, yeah.
How high was
And
he?
the other friend and him are just sitting there, and I'm like, so what's going on? And he goes, oh, not much, just out here in the parking lot. And I'm like,
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm like, all right, yeah, so he goes, we were coming over here because I'm teaching my friend how to drive stick shift. And I said, oh, cool. And he goes, I just didn't know if you were taking video, if we would be in the video or not. And I'm like, no, I could put you in the video, the moving pictures, if you want, of your friend killing it,
It's only me
over and over
It's
again.
only me and my wife that
Right.
watch these.
And so he was just like, no, I just
videos.
wanted to give you the heads up that I'm going to be teaching him how to do this. And I'm like, I don't own this parking lot. You can do whatever the heck you want, right? As long as you're not driving into me.
We are two ships passing in the night.
Like have at it. Do
Right.
do whatever you want to do. So he goes,
Yeah.
cool, man, right on. Sweet ride, though. Thank you again, not
It's
mine.
a
But have a good,
mostly stock
see ya.
Civic.
So he drives off. I was really nice to the kid. It was just that it was like a really awkward interaction. I didn't know how to like navigate that.
Those are
So
like the two bros in Sex Drive.
kind of. And so anyway, so I ended up doing that for a little bit. Really fun. And then got the car back to him, and then I got back home, and I can't remember. I think it was a pretty chill night. I've been catching up on the show, the Killing It show. I told everybody to watch. Everybody needs to watch Killing It. It's
I
hilarious
even got
and
my
really
parents
fun.
to watch it when we were up at the cabin.
Yeah, so I started the second season. Also amazing.
Yeah.
Also super fun. And then Saturday, here's what ended up happening. This whole month, we have overcommitted to things. Me and my wife, and as a whole family, we've
Yeah.
overcommitted to
Yeah.
things. We have too much on our plate, right? I think it started at the yard sale, right? That we had.
It
That
started
was
the month with the yard.
we
sale.
started the month of the yard sale, and I think that was kind of like the hey, we're probably doing too much already doing this, but let's try to figure it out. So every weekend's going to be busy, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's family photos or family time, or my wife's mom's getting surgery, she needs a place to stay, like all sorts of different things, right, are coming up. But this weekend, I promised my neighbors that I would go up to their cabin. They've been asking me for quite
you did a
some
little
time.
cabin life,
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
And
look at
they had
that.
said, hey, we really want you to come up to our place in Garden Valley. It's technically one of their parents' place, but they said, we really want you to come up. And
These are the ones you watch the Star Wars
correct.
with?
These are my Star Wars homies
Okay.
that we watch. We have a drink and watch a little bit of Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
And we ended up saying, yeah, we can make this work. We're going to come up for like half the day because we literally had so much
Yeah.
other stuff. Because my daughter's birthday is coming up, right? My wife is treating it as if it is literally like
Christmas.
more than Christmas.
Wow.
She's treating it as if it's like her 18th graduation party.
Whoa.
Right? Or her whatever it is, 18th birthday graduation
Sweet
party,
16,
whatever the heck you want to call it. And I'm telling her, hey, she's turning 2. I'm like, we should have some fun, but like, don't kill yourself doing this. She's like,
she's
no.
also 2. She won't remember.
No, absolutely not.
No.
But my wife is definitely going up above and beyond. I think all the other 2-year-olds will be extremely jealous of how cool this birthday will be, potentially. So we went up to the cabin. Basically, it was up in Garden Valley. So the opposite. Well, not quite opposite. It's basically if you're going to Tamarack, where Dane would have gone, we would turn off before that, and take a long right to go down a little further in another area of the mountains.
Yeah.
So we went up there around like noon, and dude, pretty nice. Have you been to Garden Valley recently?
No, but I have friends that have bought places. They've started moving and buying places in Garden Valley.
Cute place, man. Like we went up there, and I was like, most of the time
I've never been.
I pass through there or kind of off the outskirts of the city when I'm on like a motorcycle ride or whatever it is. But we actually went into the little town, and I gotta admit, there's not much there.
Yeah.
But it's probably cuter than Idaho City.
Yeah.
Maybe more established. The shops are nicer. The vibes are probably a little bit nicer, cleaner as well. But they have like some cool bars there where they do like giant, like they have like a smoker it's like an outdoor bar and patio with like this giant smoker in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good time, right?
Nice.
I don't know what they're smoking. Is it squirrel? Is it rabbit? Is it deer? Is it beef? I don't care, but I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah, you
I'm
want
down.
all of it.
There's a lot of beef cattle out in that country, so.
So we went to the cabin itself, though. It's not even a cabin. It's like a straight up home. It's exceptionally nice. We walked in and we were like, okay,
there we go.
This is crazy, right? Like on this hillside, beautiful view, and all of that. And so my neighbors have their kids. Their kids were all excited that I was there. Like, why is Anthony here?
Yeah.
And we invited him up. Oh. Well, that's fun. Anthony, do you want to see my toys? Absolutely. Let's go play toys, right?
Yeah.
So we did that, and then there's like a creek you can go float. And they were like, hey, we're going to go float this creek. You can either float the creek or you can hang out with the girls at the end of the creek, and you can just wait for us to show up with all the kids. And I said, well, how long is this creek float? Mm-hmm. And they go, it's really slow. So it's 2 hours. And I'm like, oh, man. 2 hours is quite a long time to be sitting in an inner tube or just
how far are they going for a 2 hour trip?
Dane, it's like 2 miles.
That's it?
It's 2 2 miles. I know.
In like 20 minutes or less. Walking, not running.
I know. So that's why I was like, it takes 2 hours. Like, yeah, it's really slow. And I'm like, crap, man. I think I'm gonna wait with the girls, right? So we went to this little pull-out area, really nice, had the whole spot to ourselves, and kind of played in the water there. My daughter played in the water. I just kind of hung out. You know when you're kind of hanging out with girls, like especially moms, and they're all sitting there chit chatting. I was just the dad that was off to the side playing with like a stick and hitting branches. Like I'm just gonna do boy stuff over here, but I'm also gonna make sure
an axe
checking the structural integrity of this tree.
Chopped some trees down for fun, just for fun.
Yeah.
But I did that. My daughter did
clean up some deadfall.
Yeah, my daughter did end up falling into the creek, into a deep spot, right?
Oh, no.
No life jacket or anything. But it was one of those, like, she was walking towards me because I was in the middle of the water up to, like, my knees. And she's like, Daddy. And she starts walking towards me. She falls into, like, this pit. There's, like, a pit in the water, right? And this poor girl, she fell in face first, right?
No.
Landed face down like that, and the current, as slow as it was, started taking her away. I'm like, oh my God, right?
Like, is it just like two little legs in the water?
Yeah, just pulling her, and I'm like, oh my God, right? So like we ran. She must have been under for just a couple seconds, but we grabbed her. Scary, I will say.
Yeah.
This is a reason, Levi, I'm not a fan of water, right?
You and me both, my friend.
Water is dangerous, and
it's not.
kills.
People don't need to get in it.
Respect
That's all I
the
say.
water, and the water
There's no
will
reason to be in it.
you.
A shower is fine.
Yeah.
Water can fall upon you, wash you clean, and you get the same benefits. But there's no reason to sit in it unless it's warm and it's shallow enough to be able to sit in and enjoy. Hot tubs, fine. Swimming pools, no need to be there.
Okay.
Really, you could a hot tub or a shower. do you just fine.
So I'm the mariner of the bunch then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Dane.
Yep.
So
Okay.
we go and run over, we pick her up, and she's like shocked because the water was cold, and it was her first time. She went all the way in,
Yeah.
like all like again, face down, floating
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
God, we were so.
She's gonna be
She
like
didn't
you
like
now.
suck up a bunch of water, did she?
She didn't. I think she was so shocked that she fell in. She must have just been breathing out the whole time.
Okay.
But it was scary, and so
Yeah.
we pulled her out. I'm like, man.
Was she
I
crying or
could
was she like chill?
She
or
was like
confused
she was not
or
like
what?
she was not like freaked out. She was more like just shocked. I think just
Okay.
like the
Okay.
She,
Yeah,
like she
cold
wasn't
water
super
and it's,
upset.
Well, she
Yeah.
probably doesn't realize the ramifications.
She also
of
doesn't
what
realize
could
that she
happen
floated
if-
down like
Yeah.
3 feet.
Yeah.
So, but we did that, and we drove back into town, and once we got back, that's when my wife had to go run a quick errand to Hobby Lobby, and then it was Jason's birthday that night, so I had to go try to say hi to him, and then really the rest of the night was pretty chill. I think, I did some late night shopping. I wanted to wash one of the cars, but we're getting into darkness now
Yeah.
at like
8 o'clock, it's dark.
7:45,
It's
8
about
o'clock,
8,
right?
Yeah. The sun is
And
past the horizon at 8
that was my
o'clock now.
prime washing time
Yeah.
2 months ago, right?
Still can be your prime washing time. Pop out your scan grips, get some spotlights.
Well, because the
outside in
weather's
driveway.
perfect. The
Yeah,
weather's perfect.
Still nice.
It's more or less we're in mosquito and bug season still.
No, we're not.
I think we
It's
are.
cold.
No,
There's
it
no
is
bugs.
not. There is absolutely bugs.
There's flies, but there's no mosquitoes.
I hate flies,
There's,
and I also
like-
hate crickets.
but
I
the-
have crickets in my garage
Yeah,
right
but
now.
this
Gnats are
week
annoying.
This week is the week to start your nighttime washing.
Maybe this week because now we're dipping into
Yeah.
60, 70 degree weather. Now would be the time to
That's
start.
what I'm saying.
Warmo in our washes are going to start happening, or warm rinseless washing is going to start happening, and
But you'll now have dusk, 0 hour.
yeah,
It's supposed to rain on Friday too.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh dang! So I'm gonna go through. I gotta start doing some cleanup because I was washing cars almost every single week, twice a week of just
Yeah.
my own fleet, right?
I mean, you could wash several and still not go through the whole lineup. So to be
But
fair, it's
ever since I got the RSX into the garage, the black car, I have not had to wash anywhere near as much. That car was ruining me in terms of washing time because it was black. So obviously I'd be like, oh, it's dirty. It's
but
dirty,
birds
it's
were
dirty.
attracted to it.
Birds love crapping all over it. I just hate that, right? But
Yeah.
anyway, then Sunday, what did I end up doing Sunday? Sunday was, Sunday we ended up finally cleaning out the rest of my garage. I told my wife, I said, hey, after that garage sale, because all the rest of the stuff
Yeah, all the stuff.
needed to
What
go
do you do
somewhere.
with the cars? You park the cars out onto in your other property while you guys clean
Correct,
the garage?
Yeah, basically got that into the other property, my future cabin
I was
property.
gonna say, so lucky that you just have that space.
Instead of cabin, it's just an outhouse. But
You know, what do you have a view
There's
of?
another shed out there.
yeah,
little
yeah,
tiny home.
Yeah, it's a tiny home.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I just say, hey, I'm going to the property this weekend, right? Anthony, you're just walking across the street to the other shed.
It's just a TV and like a PlayStation and a couch in there.
But because it's a cabin, people are going to want to know: is it set in the trees? Does it have a view of a mountain or like lake? Or
I think I
river or
can get a
anything?
pretty
No, it
decent
just has a
view.
view of disciplinary school. That's all
No,
it's got.
Dane,
going.
it's
he's
more
got
of
a chair.
it's a
He's got a-
prairie.
It's got a picnic table. It's got
It's the middle of
tree.
a prairie.
I got
yeah.
a prairie, and the
bunch
neighbors.
of dry grass. The second somebody's smoke's too close, like freaking
It'll be fine. I like it.
And the neighbors,
a particular trivium listener might roll up.
the neighbors planted a bunch of wildflowers there,
Oh,
so
beautiful.
it feels
Wonderful.
foresty,
Yeah.
right? Minus the street signs.
Minus,
prairie.
the forest.
Yeah, it's like the Camas
There's
Prairie.
no trees.
Yeah, it's fun. So well, we finally cleaned that up because my garage has been half of it has literally been
mine's
garage
even
garage sale
worse.
stuff. I told my wife, I said, hey man, mentally this is not good for me. I need this cleared out so I can start thinking more clearly.
Yeah.
And so we spent the morning getting that cleared out, and I think that was pretty much it. I mean, the rest of Sunday was pretty chill. Went over to my parents' house, hung out with them for a little bit, and I think that night I did end up going to the gym, right? And I found out we have a coworker here, right? Also goes to the same
Yeah.
gym, right? And he actually asked me, he's like, hey, did you go to IFF? And I said, IFF, what is that? Some type of like conference, right?
Yeah.
He goes, no, like IFF. And I'm like,
And I had to say
I
Idaho
don't-
Fitness Factory.
yeah, he goes, Idaho Fitness. I'm like, oh yeah, I go to Idaho Fitness Factory. He goes, yeah, I saw you there the other night. I go, oh, cool.
We should let him know that those are premium rag company towels that he's using at IFF.
That's
so
right.
this is a funny
Wipe
story.
out
This
his
is
gym
also
equipment.
quite embarrassing, right?
Oh,
I wasn't
They're all
going to tell this story.
They don't know how to take care of
They
them.
don't. No,
No,
they just
no.
they just buy new ones.
I was going
That's
to
right.
tell you this embarrassing story, but I don't know if I want to tell you or not.
Okay.
So Sunday night,
Yeah.
right? I was at the gym, right?
Yeah.
I think I was doing a little bit of, I don't know what I was doing. I was doing something there, right? But I was walking on the treadmill.
Working on the muscles.
So fun fact, I don't know if this channel exists everywhere, but it's called
The Rag
Throttle
Company.
Throttle
Yeah, the Rag
TV.
Company channel.
Throttle TV. It's basically
All Rag
literally
Company videos.
Rag Company videos.
I know, it's
Somebody
amazing.
just restreams our videos.
And I don't know if Idaho Fitness Factory chooses to stream our videos, but
All I know is Dusty, the CEO of Fitness Factory now, is comes by here to pick up towels.
so Throttle TV, I don't know if it's a part of, I think it's Atmosphere TV
I think
is what
it's
called,
just
Atmosphere. And it's like, it's a
But
free,
it's a ton of Rag Company videos.
it's a
crazy.
free like channel you just put on like in the background of your shop
the
or your
Chive does the same
gym.
thing. Like a lot of these
Yeah.
places have like a channel that's not really a mainstream whatever channel, and it plays like restreamed YouTube videos.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
It's
stuff.
literally all it is, right?
Yeah.
So at the gym, they play this one channel, and they do Oddly Satisfying, and then it's just called Throttle TV. It's all about cars.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, we are on these freaking videos.
It's crazy.
24. I mean, dude, we are on these videos all the time.
I don't have a problem with it, but we never like signed anything or whatever. No, they just rip them,
Yeah.
put them on there.
No,
It's
like,
pretty great, though.
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
So like
but-
Levi will be on there, Josh Broad will be on there, I'll be on there, right? They'll see Dane in the background, Gabe in the background, and it's just kind of weird, right?
the
so
selection of
Especially 'cause
videos
you're-
is also
Especially because
weird.
you're like working out.
Yeah.
And then you're like looking around to see if anybody's
Wait a
noticing that it's
second.
you and that you're on the TV.
Well, this is what happened.
Oh,
So
no.
I was on the treadmill, right?
Yeah.
Walking, and they were playing back to back, right?
Yeah.
Videos, right? And I'm like, holy crap, this is pretty awesome, right? But I'm like, okay, I got to go get in a little bit of weights right now, right?
Yeah.
So I get off and I'm walking, and it's one of the Wash Wednesdays that I did. I can't remember if it was one of the four. I think it was maybe one of the Forerunners or something like that. But I was polishing or doing something, and you could visually see like, hey, that's my face, that's me, right? Well, I'm walking past the treadmill, the road treadmill, and there's this one like teenage kid, right? This young, I don't know, probably 19, 20-year-old boy, right? Walking on the treadmill, just cruising. He is watching that channel intently, right?
Right.
And he's looking at the channel, which I'm on it, playing, right? And then I'm walking by, and I look at him, I look at the TV, I look back at him, and so I look at him, and I go, and I do the, hey.
Oh, how
You're watching this, but
embarrassing.
it's me,
Oh, it
and
gets
I'm
worse,
here.
it gets
I'm
worse.
the guy.
Dane, it gets
I'm
worse.
the
It gets
guy.
worse. It gets worse. I go like this. I go like that, right? And he looks at me and he goes, "What?" Pulls out his AirPod. He goes, "What's up?" And I said, "Oh no, dude! I saw you were watching the TV." He goes, oh, "Hold on, hold on. Sorry. What do you say on TV?" And I said, "I know. I saw you were watching the TV. I'm on the TV, and I basically tried to like say that, right?
I'm a big deal.
And so he looks
This is
up,
a really
right?
vain moment for me. Don't make me feel bad
he
about
looks
it.
up. The channel has changed. It's a different video. It's like something in like it was like some type of like RC car video, right? And he goes, "Oh, on the RC car."
So
And
you're
I
into
said-
RC cars?
And I said, "Oh
watching
no!"
that
I said
car.
I was watching that
Oh.
car. And he goes, "Huh? Yeah, cool." And I go, "Yeah, never mind. Yeah, you know,
Have a good one, Mike.
Have a good one." Puts his headphones
Have a good
back
one,
in.
Mike.
Dude, I
No.
was like so freaking embarrassed. I'm just like, crap.
Gosh, that is hilarious.
Like I just there was so many videos of us
Yeah.
back to back that I'm like, there's no way it'll change.
Yeah.
Right? In that time, it went from me to an
So they've
RC
been playing
car.
that for a few years
Yeah,
because I
that's not a
remember
new
for a while
development.
I would have to run towels over to State Street
No.
to that location, and I'd load the Suburban up with a few few cases and run them over there to drop them off, or Petro would load his truck up and run them over. And while you're unloading the boxes, they'd be playing that throttle, and it would have us on there. And I was like, whoa! I remember walking in going, the heck, because it was all like Rag Company logos and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy. But yeah. I forgot about that throttle
it's just
TV.
It always
freaking
happens to you,
embarrassing, dude.
like Alex is pointing out. It's
That is
always you.
hilarious.
It just it was just one of those like, hey, you know, trying to get us because it's empty. It was a dead gym. Nobody was
Yeah.
there. Like I wouldn't have done that if there was like 20 people on the treadmills. That would have been super
Yeah.
embarrassing, right? So like I knew, I'm like, hey, if I'm gonna point this out, because this has happened so many times where I've been walking and I've always seen myself and there's always somebody watching the TV. I'm like, are they going to notice that's me? So I was just like, I'll just point it out that, hey, it's me on the TV. How fun, right? Mm-hmm. Channel changed and the
so
guy
funny.
I thought I was freaking crazy. Anyway,
oh, man.
So that's pretty much it. Looks like we got some comments in here. People.
So we started Rebels.
Yeah.
The Star Wars Rebels show.
Animated series.
As a family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I actually really like the show. But the R2 unit, it's an old R2 unit named Chopper, is probably the most funny, hilarious character that I've ever seen in the Star Wars lineup.
It doesn't really say it. It's not really saying a lot.
But it is, no, it's like he's the comic relief. Like the whole show's written well. It's fun. I've been enjoying it. We've been binging it. It's been great. But that every time Chopper comes on, we rewind it to replay his scene, and it's actually really funny. So I've been enjoying that part of it. And so one of the things is Carly and I are going to take the kids to Disneyland in December. And so we've been looking for shirts.
Yeah.
Carly found me a Chopper shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and we found another one that had another version of Chopper that is hilarious also. So very exciting. So that was something I just want to say. We're watching that so that we can prepare for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That way we've given Ahsoka its due by watching.
Prepare to be underwhelmed.
Preparing that, so that way we're not like Anthony going, "What's happening?"
No, it's not
coming into a show without doing your due diligence.
It's not a great show so far. This last video that they had, the last episode was probably the only saving grace of that entire show so far. But like, there's 3 or 4 episodes left. They're not gonna be able to wrap this. They can't.
I'll watch it and go, Dane, that was the most single-handedly. It's equal to Andor and its creation and beauty. And you'll go, I too must watch, and then you will do the Rebels, watch them, and go, you're right, that is an amazing series, and now I love Ahsoka.
I'm just going to be too mad about what they did to Winning Time.
There you go. Yeah, so that was another thing.
That made me so sad.
HBO canceled Winning Time. On Sunday.
I'm not even like a big basketball
and called
guy,
it
but
as
the
a
way
finale.
that show was shot was so cool.
Stunning
I love
shots.
that show.
I loved how they moved back and forth between the different gradients, between the different filters.
Yeah, different formats, filters, all that stuff. It was such a like textural kind of
and then
experience.
So Anthony, I sent that group chat of the video of the guy on rollerblades filming the action sequences.
Yeah, how they get those shots.
Holy crap.
And then to see that they essentially only have like 1/3 of the stadium full and the rest is digital, but when you watch it, it's seamless.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's great, but super frustrating. HBO is going through, Max is going through and canceling a bunch of HBO shows.
Zaslav sucks.
And so not cool, man.
Well,
It'll be replaced with more reality TV. Yay.
Oh, they want to make more House Hunters. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Which
I was going to say, Disney's not doing much better right now. I mean...
Well, streaming has kind of hit a ceiling of just being a... bleh.
Also... I know we only have 4 minutes, but this is a whole other conversation. But I was really reminiscing this weekend. I was watching a lot of videos on that last Blockbuster. The one, right?
Yeah, the one in Bend, Oregon.
I want to watch the actual documentary on it, but dude, I went down that whole path of like remembering what it was
good
like
old days.
To rent a movie. I miss it.
You remember the feeling of a hot pizza?
I remember
and a movie.
I remember a Friday night after school.
Yeah.
When your parents would ask you, "What do you want to do?" And they're like,
"Rent a movie."
They're like, "Do you want to go get pizza, rent a movie?" And that was literally the best thing that somebody could say to me.
Right.
Like
or just walking the aisles, looking at the covers.
I would go and rent copies of Rush and Ridge Racer 64 from that place, and I miss it so much.
I miss Hastings. I miss the smell of Hastings.
I miss Hastings so much.
It smelled like books, nerds, and like
the mixture of book
movies.
And coffee shop with like weird trinkets you can nowadays only find on like Amazon or Alibaba or something.
It also smelled very nerdy in there.
Yes,
they would host Dungeons and Dragons events. Don't forget
and now
that.
you get that in like tabletop gaming stores and stuff.
Yeah.
But
it's a closest
Hastings
smell.
So when Hadley
was
Lucy's age, Anthony, that was my evenings when Carly would work.
Yeah,
is we'd go to Hastings and I'd wander around.
Did exist, yeah,
and I'd wander around with her, and we'd put on funny hats, and I'd take pictures of her. We'd put on masks, take funny pictures. Remember, they had musical instruments. She'd sit there and bang on bongos and stuff. Like she would see the skateboards. Like,
long gone are those
yeah,
days.
we'd look at movies. I'd maybe grab a movie.
Do you remember? So there was Hastings existed. I think it was like more of an Idaho Northwestern thing,
it was
right?
in California. It was actually all over the country, all the way to Texas.
Was it really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Hastings was a large
I was
corporation.
thinking back, Blockbuster Video, right?
Yeah.
Hollywood Video.
Hollywood
When's
Video.
the last time you thought about a Hollywood
Yeah.
Video?
Actually, yesterday, because I was
What?
remember you talked to me about
Yeah.
how you had sold like some of your DVDs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I have several bargain bin Hollywood Video
No
Yeah.
way.
movies. Like picked up, Guy Ritchie's Rock and Rolla. I have a copy of
You
that.
don't need that.
And there's some different ones.
That's a
but,
weird thing to
there's
have.
Hey, Rock and Rolla was.
That's
all
why my
right.
phone's named Mumbles. Is from the movie Rock and Roll.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, no, but like I have like several old movies I had gotten from that time period where you go and pick them out of the bin and wow, instead of being 30 or $40, you can get this DVD for $19.95.
Yeah.
Let's go! All right.
Do you remember that when DVDs were literally like $40 for a Blu-ray? Do you remember that? That's insane.
Yeah, and then
I
you
think
buy the
most of
used
our
ones for
audience is old
$9.99.
enough
It
to
was
remember
great.
these times. Although for
We were
those of you who
selling them for
younger,
$1 at my garage sale.
No, I loved Hastings. I miss it. I miss Blockbuster.
Oh, man.
We used to have a little Caesars right next to the Blockbuster on State and 17th, and that's when we would go in there. And so
Dude,
you'd order your pizza, and then you'd walk over to Blockbuster and go look for a movie, and then walk back over and grab your pizza and go home.
I like paying $2 for a candy. I liked paying the $3 for the popcorn.
There's
or
something
whatever.
I was going to
Lines
say,
there.
Neil's right.
Yeah,
there was an
Laserdiscs
early
were
time of
$100. Yeah.
laser discs were incredibly expensive. Yeah, insane.
Anyway, yeah.
We've hit our mark. We're at the 11 o'clock point. This is where I tell you, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We have a deadline. We got to go film some stuff that you guys are going to hopefully see in the coming month or so.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. But in the
Think you'll
meantime,
like
please click like on this video before you leave. Helps us out. Helps you out by helping us out because I'm going to keep doing this. And if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Please do so before you leave today. And that's it. Till later this week for Q&A Thursday, where we will join you on Thursday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time for answering your detailing questions, which I saw for you today. Please save those and join us on this channel for Q&A Thursday later this week. All right, we'll see ya. Have a good one.
See you guys.